Hello guys, today's video will be about how to install and how to use the Substance Painter lightly with Blender. So let's get started. Once you download the zip file and extract it, you'll find a folder like this one. To install the plugin, you need to open the Substance Painter folder and copy the HHConnect folder to the Allegorithmic plugin path. That is usually located in Documents, Allegorithmic, Substance Painter, Plugins. Now when you open Substance Painter, the plugin will be available as you can see here. Inside the folder you downloaded, you'll find a folder called Blender that contains a zip file called HHConnect. We'll use this zip file to install the Blender add-on. Let's open Blender, go to File, User Preferences, Add-ons, and click Install Add-on from File. Select the HHConnect zip file and activate the add-on. You will now see a panel on the left called Shadow Tool that will have the Live Link plugin. If by any chance your Blender add-ons are not installed in the default paths, there is a configuration file inside the Substance Painter plugin folder called HHConnect Env, in which you can set the variable called Blender path with your custom add-ons path, as you can see in the example. Just set it like this with your custom location. Don't forget to include the HHConnect folder at the end of the path and to remove the pound key at the beginning of the text line. To use the plugin in Blender, all you need to do is click Start Listening in the Shadow Tool tab. Now Substance Painter will be able to communicate with Blender. This release works with Cycles and Evee, so if you have another renderer selected, it will be changed by default to Cycles when you click the Start Listening button. The interval parameter defines how often the plugin will check for new information coming from Substance Painter. If the scene becomes kind of laggy, you might want to increase this parameter value. Also, we have three buttons. Delete Unused Materials will remove all the materials that are not assigned in the scene. Delete Unused Textures will remove all the textures that are not assigned, and Delete Unused that will remove both materials and textures. Now in Substance Painter, we need to set up the plugin to work with Blender, so let's do it. First, we have a pin button that if clicked will make the plugin window to remain over the UI at all times. Then we have Select Path. Here we can define the output path for the texture file exports. In the software dropdown, we select Blender. And in the renderer dropdown, choose the Blender version. In my case, I'm still using 279. Now we can select the output resolution, the file format, and the normal format. Both Cycles and Evee works with OpenGL, so if you need to use DirectX for any specific reason, the necessary nodes will be added to keep the right normal format when rendering. After that, you can either select if you want to use one texture per material map, or if you want to optimize them by packing the ambient occlusion, metal and roughness in one single map. Finally, you can independently choose the bit depth of the normal and high maps, as well as the bit depth of the rest of the maps. Once it is all configured, you have two options: send all the texture sets to Blender or only the currently active texture set. Since I only have one material, it makes no difference to send all or send current. Back in Blender, a new material is created but not yet assigned. I wanted to assign it automatically, but since there are so many workflow possibilities, for flexibility's sake, I thought it would be better to create a new material that needs to be assigned only the first time. So we assign the newly created material, and we should be able to see the results. Keep in mind that the first time you assign the material, you need to make sure that the right UV maps is selected in the node network. Now that the material is assigned, if we update the texture sets and send them again, we'll be able to see the updated results. This time, we don't need to reassign anything since everything is properly connected. Remember, you can use the Delete Unused buttons to remove the unassigned materials and to keep clean your scene. Well, that's all for now. If you have any doubts or requests, let me know in the comments or via our Discord server.
Good luck!